just reading chapter 6. Hiccup's bodyguard has a busy time. Stoic rather regretted hiring Humongous over the next couple of weeks. Everybody, including Hiccup, seemed to think he was absolutely marvellous. He autographed axes, spears, favourite dragons, even Bagamum's famous beer belly. Even his writing is humongously cool, sighed Bagabum, gazing down at the stylish scrawl on his dummy. "I'll never wash again." "Did you ever?" grunted Stoic, thinking, "Who does this humongous guy think he is?" And that was the other thing. Everybody normally followed Stoic's leads when it came to fashion. That meant that the beard was worn au naturel, in a tremendous tangly mess the size of a large and complicated bird's nest that had recently been attacked by a weasel. The whole was then decorated with a lavish sprinkling of food droppings. Suddenly everybody was appearing with their beards, their beards immaculately groomed, just as humongously hotshots, and ends of the moustaches elaborately twiddled and coaxed into pretty little curls. Look at them all with their pretty little curls and their beards, and they're Stoic the vast looking jolly cross, because everybody's following. And Gobber's beard went into ringlets overnight. Into a riot of ringlets, apparently. And Stoic strongly suspected they were washing, not to mention doing up their shirt bottoms and polishing their helmets till they shone. "What have you done to your beard?" Stoic demanded of a rather guilty-looking Gobber, whose haystack had turned into a riot of ringlets overnight. Gobber blushed. "Oh, this," said Gobber carelessly. "It's just the latest fashion, you know, more heroic. Everybody's doing it. You see, they're all copying Hiccup's new bodyguard." Stoic was not pleased. "Well, you all look ridiculous," blustered Stoic. What he found by far the most difficult part of the whole bodyguard business was that Hiccup seemed to look up to Humongous so much. It was all humongous this and humongous that nowadays. Indeed, Hiccup did admire Humongous. Here was a hero cut above the usual uncouth barbarian. His fighting wasn't just the usual loutish bonking on the head, but stylish, elegant, graceful. He taught Hiccup the flash thrust with twist thingamy, and showed him how to tie an opponent into elaborate and beautiful knots, while at the same time courteously inquiring about the state of their health. But Humongous was causing Hiccup the odd little difficulty, not his fault, of course, but there it was. Hiccup's general practice on the pirate training programme was to try and blend into the background and hope that nobody noticed him. But this is difficult if an exceptionally good-looking 6'7", internationally renowned hero is following 2 steps behind you with his sword drawn, shouting out, "Make way for horrendous Haddock the Third, only son of the chief." Embarrassing, I mean, really. And there were other problems. Gobber allowed the boys a bit of time off to recover from the herding reindeer and Ragamat lesson, and then it was back to the normal programme a day or so later, and an axe fighting with art lesson. The strange weather had, if anything, got even hotter. How hot could it get? It was like standing in the middle of an oven. The boys stood in a straggly line in front of Gobber, scratching their bottoms and sweating profusely. Above them towered huge hill like a bad omen, its lower half alive with trees and ferns, its upper half a scalded desert, so as bald and nude as Gobber's still helmetless and now very sunburnt head. When Gobber the Belch asked for volunteers to fight Snot-Face, Snot-Out, there was a stony silence amongst the boys. Not like I was horribly good at axe fighting. I wouldn't, and he was a terrible cheat. Worse, who tended to kick you in the ankles with his specially sharpened sandals when Gobber wasn't looking. So imagine Hiccup's horror when Humongous stepped forward, shouting out, "I volunteer, Hiccup Rentus Haddock the Third, only son of Chief Stoic the Master, who hear his name and tremble. Ugh, ugh." "Shh," begged Hiccup, "please pipe down." "Excellent idea," bellowed Gobber happily. You see, there's real downsides to this new bodyguard. Excellent idea, bellowed Gobber happily. Hiccup is fighting Snotlout then. Oh, for Thor's sake, groaned Hiccup miserably. What did you do that for? Hissed Fishlegs. You're his bodyguard. You're supposed to be looking after him, not serving him up to his enemies on a plate. What are you talking about? Said Humongous in surprise. He's the son of a chief. The hot fighting blood of the horrendous haddocks run raging through his veins. He could take this guy's Snotlout with one flick of his regal fingernails. I don't know if you've noticed, said Fishlegs, but Snotlout is nearly twice his size. He's as mean as a hornet with a grudge, and he hates Hiccup. Oh, I do, grinned Snotlout, cracking his knuckles. Snotlout happened to be the son of Baggy Beardbum the Beerbelly, who is Stowy the vast brother. This meant if there's something were to happen to Hiccup, some tragic accident, the next in line to the throne would be Snotlout. Snotlout thought that he would make an excellent chief. There he is, hating Hiccup. He thought he would make an excellent chief of the hairy hooligan tribe. Oh, come on! This Snotlout guy is pitifully weedy, snorted Humongous loudly. This was unlike Humongous, for he was normally very polite. Toothless has been saying that for years, broke in Toothless excitedly, for he loved a good fight. Keep it down, please, broke Hiccup. For poor Hiccup, Snotlout was hearing all this, and an even more spiteful look was coming into his eyes than normal. You'll smash this guy into the floor and have him begging for mercy, Hiccup, cried Humongous. Let's just see who is going to be doing the begging. Snarled Snotlout from between gritted teeth and rolling up his sleeves. The boys practiced their axe fighting with wooden axes in order to try and reduce the mortality rate. Good idea, guys. But somehow Humongous, who was helping Gobber by handing out the weapons, made matters even worse by handing Snotlout a real axe instead of the wooden one. Snotlout, your axe is real. Look at there's a mean look in Snotlout's eye. Humongous's fault again. Getting a bit suspicious. Both Snotlout and Hiccup realised this halfway through the fight when Snotlout's axe collided with Hiccup's shield, and instead of bouncing off it, cut into the wood and stuck there. A gleam of delight came into Snotlout's shock-like little eyes. Kill the pig-nostrilled, jellyfish-hearted, wart-coloured bully, Hiccup! Shouted Humongous helpfully from the sidelines. Scratch his eyes out, tear his wings off, cut off his horns! Squeaked Toothless, flapping around, getting in the way. Snotlout, your axe is real! Shouted Hiccup. That's not my fault, snarled Snotlout. Everybody here saw your precious bodyguard give it to me, so nobody's going to blame me. And he yanked at the axe to get it out of Hiccup's shield. Gobble was out of earshot, too busy yelling at Tough Nut Jr. That is an axe, for Thor's sake, Tough Nut, not a wooden spoon. For a knitting needle, shouted Gobber. Humongous, help! Yelled Hiccup. Uh-oh, you're doing a great job, shouted Humongous, giving an encouraging and graceful thumbs up. Keep up the good work. I think I saw tears in the snotty baby's eyes just then. Don't forget the thrash thrush. It works just as well in axe work. Anyone help? Cried Hiccup. Fishlegs dropped his wooden axe and ran away from his fight with Clueless. Humongous, do something that's a real axe, not like it's got there. There's no cause for alarm, said Humongous calmly as Snotlout dragged his axe out of Hiccup's shield and yanked the shield out of Hiccup's hand and raised the shiny metal blade above his head. I think there's cause for alarm. Okay? I don't think I'm alarmist, but I think there's a cause for alarm. That's my feeling. But, Humongous says, Hiccup has this situation completely under control. I mean, he's just lulling this thug into a false sense of security. For goodness sake! Raged Fishlegs. Hiccup is about to die! Snotlout brought the wickedly sharp axe down towards Hiccup. Hiccup raised his own wooden axe up above his head to try and protect himself, and the metal axe just cut right through it, so that it split in two and fell to the floor. The metal axe continued on down towards Hiccup's chest. Hiccup closed his eyes, waiting for the blow, and under the nick of time, Humongous drew. Oh, thank goodness, his own axe. Oh, maybe he's all right after all this, Humongous. His own axe from his waist belt. Maybe he's just a bit stupid. Humongous drew his own axe from his waist, but with lightning swiftness, and he lopped Snotlout's axe off at the base, so that the metal end fell harmlessly to the ground, while Toothless and Fishlegs dragged Snotlout backward by the seat of his trousers. Rip! Snotlout's trousers split from top to bottom, and Snotlout fled from the scene half naked, followed by the loud laughter of his fellow students. I'm afraid the Vikings have rather a basic sense of humour. One of their numbers getting his trousers removed was just the kind of simple joke that really amused them. Ha 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 ha, chuckled the hooligan boys, leaning on their axes. I'm sorry, Hiccup, said Hitchamungus, helping Hiccup hack up. Thank you, gasped Hiccup with a sigh of relief. What are you thanking him for? Squeaked Fishlegs in irritation. He's an idiot, a fool with style, but still a fool. Shut up, Fishlegs. He saved my life for the second time, didn't he? Said Hiccup. Humongous looked uncomfortable. Something really odd is going on. We'll have to have the rest of the chapter tomorrow.